So let me begin by, first of all, let's work with the pinks. So I'm going into Rose Glory and Shell Pink combined on my brush. So first of all, you go into the Shell Pink, back to the Rose Glory, and then back to the Shell Pink again, so that you will make Shell Pink the dominant color for this upper part. Notice that the sides, I'm angling in on the side with the color, and it makes it go on smooth. And now again, I'm going to follow the line in and fill this in, and I'm not going to be wiping out because I'm going to use these more as my highlight colors. So if I wipe out, it only just be for a little bit of a real light that I need up in here, and it won't be that definite. Not until next time. I don't want to make too many little accents and so forth too quickly. Now at the bottom part, I will just take straight Rose Glory, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn this around like so, and I'm going to go over here and grab the corner there and pull in just like that. Pull in. So back to the 1/4 inch brush again, and we will make all of the fuchsias this color. Now on the leaves, now I'm going to just block this in, just block in flat. Don't try to put any highlights because these will be your highlights. Just block the color right on in. Now then, once I have this, then I'm going to come into the center area with my brush nice and clean, and I'm going to put on some cream. Now you'll have all these flowers done before you attempt to do this, and then block this color in. And this is a lovely color. This is a very nice soft color, and it fires down where it's not overwhelming. And so we're going to be putting that color in. Now, once we have that done, we then fire this. Now, being that we already have a piece that's already fired, let me bring it over. Now, this is what the fired piece is going to be looking like. I've gone a step ahead, and I've painted in a few areas. But let me show you how I go about putting on this paint. Now see, I'm going to just pull in like this. Now I could have just blocked it all in and then wiped through for the stem, but I think that sometimes this is a little bit more controllable to do it this way. And then we block this in like this here. And then continue on with this color for a little while, but when you start to get to an outer edge and you want to make a leaf or something, then lighten it up just a little bit too, so that you can create some shadowed leaves. And the shadowing of the leaves is, in other words, let me show you here that when you make a shadow leaf, just go at an angle with that brush and then point it. See? And then you can make a little cut through the middle and then just pull out a little bit there. And so now we'll come over here, and I'll turn this so that you can see me paint this here. I'm going to lay the brush right like this and pull towards that center vein. And I'm going to pull again till I get this pretty well the way I want on that one side. Again, I will go back in and pull this towards the outer edge. And see this area that we just painted in with the green? Now you see how I've utilized that for some leaves. So I'm just going to come in here and fill this in like this. Now when we have this on, let me set this back into place again. Now the thing is let's turn it like this because at this time I would like to show you how I'm going to wipe this out. So I'm going to take this little brush here. I'm going to give myself a center vein. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to lay that down and pull away. And see how I wipe out just below that one, and that'll give it a little bit of a vein there. And then on the other side, I will then come in here, but I will do this from the outer edge, and I'll pull this way. So now we have that veining. And then I can always come back in and dig out the flower. And these leaves here, by the way, are also green, and we'll just more or less set those in. Now then, once we have all this taken care of, and we have softened the areas and painted in all of the things we wanted, then come back and smooth a few areas out, and then on anything that's harsh like this, now come in with your blue or some green and soften those edges with these pretty colors like this. We'll just kind of pull this down, and then this keeps it from getting that too purpley look. Let me bring the plate back over. This is the one that I have fired. Notice that the colors does fire down. Let's hold them up together. See here, this looks pretty bright, but here it is fired, and it's going to fire down. That dark blue has a tendency to soften out. So now let's come back and do our third fire. And what I'd like to do now is we've saved the flowers till last, but before we begin, we still have to get some depth in a few places. So we use our depth color of the purple, but add a little touch of the black green and turn this around so that you're now in this position. I know that's seems a little funny, but you almost have to get in that position so that you can pull your color in close in where you want to get some depth. And wherever it's dark behind, that's going to bring out whatever you want to bring out, and make something look like it's going to recede. Then it brings the lighter colors forward. Now you want to keep this more definite, and wherever you can, just darken that, and then move on to the flower. The flower is going to bring everything out. So let's now take our brush, and we'll take and use that. Some of you would like to see, I'm sure, how you could actually work that brush for painting this little area. It might just feel more comfortable for you. And now you fill this in, and then take your just working with the Rose Glory and a little touch of the American Beauty, then pull under here and just kind of get a little shadow, and then have a little more depth of color that's going to help that connect. And then we can always come back in and wipe out. I know sometimes it's kind of nice to know how to use the different brushes for the different works. So you can see, you can actually just come in and that fills that in really nicely. And then also right in through here. And then before you move too far away, then go and start this right behind, as the color that's going behind there, that's going to bring this all out. So now you can see how to use all three of the brushes, and you can decide for yourself which brush it is that you will find to be more comfortable in the actual painting. And I'll fill this little area here in. Now let's give these the skirt, or actually the petals or the corolla, whatever you like to determine what that area is. And now then turn this upside down, come in here like this, and then pull down. Just kind of dance those colors in. And with the dark blue on the shadow side, just kind of hit that just slightly with the dark blue. And on the other side, hit it with the lighter blue. Like that. Now I'd like to have you just go ahead and do each of these flowers as I was showing you. We only have a little time left, so we like to get as much as we possibly can to show you how to do this subject. Okay, now we're back, and this hasn't been fired, but I have finished painting the actual fuchsias except for the stamens. Now what we do on the stamens is we take our roller brush, and I will draw into this area here, and I'm going to first of all pull a long stamen out down and put the pistil on. Then I will come down and put in the other stamens alongside, pulling that down. And then you can kind of vary these a little bit, and this is what makes it kind of graceful. And then I come along and just make a few little dots along the center vein, and then I'll pull out over some of this, some of the areas that are open, and also some that already have a little green in them. And this will kind of just add a little bit of color, more color to the leaves. And if you like to, you can even wash a little bit of your pecan mixed with a little of the American Beauty onto some of these little edges here, and just gives a little more brightness that you might see. But if you do that on these sides, you're going to have to come down in here and add that on that leaf as well. Now then, you'll notice that how this piece has been fired, so you can see how pretty and red the stamens are. Now at the top of this piece, I have come along and taken the dark blue and washed this area here. I have washed a little more of the rose in, and I've also added a little bits more of red here and there with accents. I haven't put the red on the leaves though, as I showed you on the other one, other plate where I made the red veins, but this would be pretty with that. But notice that you want to kind of keep the back a little bit plain, not too many holes. You see the little holes here, a few air holes to give you a feeling that there's lots of foliage back there. So now then, let's now just take a look at this. There we go. And we have come from this to that, and this has actually been fired 4 times because of the added wash. Okay, thank you so much for painting along with me. It's been a pleasure for me to paint this piece with you. Thank you.